Hi, I am Priyadashni from BSc IT first year. In this video, I am going to tell about Unit 1 Constant and Variables. Constants. Constant are a fixed value that do not change during the execution of a program. Two type of constants: numeric constant, character constants. Two type of numeric constants: integer constant, real constant. Two type of character constants: single character constant, string constant. Integer constant. Integer constant refer to sequence of digit. There are three type of integer: decimal integer constant, octal integer constant, hexadecimal integer constant. Real constant. Integer number are inadequate to represent of quantities that vary continuous, such as distance, height, temperature, prices, and so on. Single character constant. A single character constant contains a single character enclosed within a pair single quote marks. String constants. A string constant is a sequence of character enclosed in a double quotes. The character may be letter, numbers, special characters, and blank space. Variables. A variable is a data name that may be used to store a data value. Syntax: data type variable name. Rules for defining variables. They must begin with a letter. Some systems permit underscore as the first character. Uppercase and lowercase are significant. The variable name should not be a keyword. Whitespace is not allowed. The next topic is data types. C language is rich in its data types. Storage representation and machine instruction to handle constants differ from machine. C supports four classes of data types: primary and fundamental data types, user defined data types, derived data types, empty data types. Primary and fundamental data types. Primary data types are also known as the fundamental data types because they are predefined data type. Primary data types are three types: integer, float, character. Three type of integer types: int, short int, long int. Two type of float types: double, long double. Two type of character types: shine character, unshine character. User defined data types. The user defined data type is a typical data types that we can derive out of any existing data type in a program. Derived data types. The derived data types are basically derived out of the fundamental data types. Three types of derived data types: function type, array type, pointer type. Array types: structure type, union type, enumerator types. Empty data types. The void is an empty data type that has no value and no operations. This can be used in functions and pointers. The next topic is operators. An operator is a symbol that tells the compiler to perform specific mathematical or logical functions. The following type of operators: arithmetic operator, relational operator, logical operator, assignment operator, increment and decrement operator, conditional operator, bitwise operator, and special operator. Arithmetic operators. An arithmetic operators perform mathematical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. Relational operators. Comparison can be done with the help of relational operators. The expression containing a relational operators. Logical operators. Logical operators are simple used to combine conditional expression is decision and interaction. Assignment operator. Assignment operator are used to assign the result of an expression to a variable. Increment and decrement operator. Increment operator increase the value of variable by 1 and a decrement operator decrease the value of variable by 1. Conditional operators. Conditional operator perform single programming statement and can perform only one operations. Bitwise operator. A bitwise operator is a character representing an action that works on data at the bit level units of data as in more common. Special operator. Special operators are used to perform special operators that cannot be done with normal arithmetic or logic operators. Type of operators: comma operator, size of operator, pointer operator, member selection operator. And the last topic of expressions. An expression is a combination of operators and operands which reduce to a single value. An operand is a data item or which an operation is predefined. An operator indicates an operations to be performed or data. Thank you.
Hello everyone, here Priyanka from IT department. I am going to elaborate about the concepts of decision making and looping. Before we are moving to the concept, all should know the functions and features of C language. C language is a basic language for all programming. Based on this language, many languages are developed. Example, Java, Python, C++, etc. Now we are going to discuss about conditional statements in C language. Conditional statements are also known as decision-making statements and are used to evaluate one or more conditions and make the decision whether to execute a set of statements or not. Types of conditional statements in C: if statement, if-else statement, nested if statement, if-else-if statement, switch statement, conditional operator, goto statement. First, we are going to discuss about if statement. The if statement is the most simple decision-making statement. It is used to decide whether a certain statement or block of statements will be executed or not. The flowchart shows the flow of if statement. In the above, we can see the syntax for all the conditional statements. And there is an example program. Hashtag include stdio.h is a header file used in C language. Int main is a main function with return type. Int is a data type, I is a variable and 10 is a value with semicolon. If I greater than 15, printf 10 is greater than 15. In else block, printf I am not in if. The condition in if statement is false. So it prints I am not in if. If else statement. We can use the else statement with the if statement to execute a block of code when the condition is false. The if-else statement consists of two blocks, one for false expression and one for true expression. In case this condition returns to be false, then the program will skip the statements that we have inside the if block. Nested if-else. When an if statement is kept inside another if statement, it is called nested if statement. The depth of nested if statement depends upon the number of conditions to be checked. If else if, it is also known as ladder if. The if else if statement are used when the user has to decide among multiple options. The C if statements are executed from the top down. If none of the conditions is true, then the final else statement will be executed. If else if, ladder if is similar to the switch statement. Switch statement. The switch statement is an alternative to the if else ladder if that can be used to execute the conditional code based on the value of the variable specified in the switch statement. The switch block consists of cases to be executed based on the value of the switch variable. ATM function is a main example for switch statement. Conditional operator. The conditional operator is used to add conditional code in our program. It is similar to the if-else statement. It is also known as ternary operator as it works on three operands. Goto statement. The goto statement is utilized to transfer control to a labeled statement in the same function. It is often considered bad practice to use goto statement as they can make the code difficult to read and understand. However, there are some events where they may be useful, such as when implementing error handling. The examples and syntax are used as to refer the above concepts of conditional statements. Now we are going to discuss about decision making and branching. Looping statements in C. Loops in programming are used to repeat a block of code until the specified condition is met. A loop statement allows programmers to execute a statement or group of statements multiple times without repetition of code. There are mainly two types of loops in C programming. Entry controlled loops. In entry controlled loops, the test condition is checked before entering the main body of the loop. For loop and while loop is entry controlled loops. Exit controlled loops. In exit controlled loops, the text condition is evaluated at the end of the loop body. The loop body will execute at least one irrespective of whether the condition is true or false. Do while loop is exit controlled loop. They are for, while, do while, return, break, continue. First, we are going to elaborate about the concepts of for loop. For loop in C programming is a repetition control structure that allows programmers to write a loop that will be executed a specific number of items. For loops enables programmers to perform n number of steps together in a single line. It can reduce the length of the program. Syntax: for, initialization express, text expression, update expression, open braces, and body of for loop, closing braces. Initialization express. In this expression, we assign a loop variable or loop counter to some value. For example, int I is equal to 1. We can initialize I is equal to 1 in the initialization expression. Test expression. In this expression, text conditions are performed. If the condition evaluates to true, then the loop body will be executed and then an update of the loop value is done. For example, I less than or equal to 9. Update expression. After execution of the loop body, loop variable is updated by some value. It could be incremented, decremented, multiple, or divided by any value. The flowchart shows the flow of for loop. For example, hashtag include stdio.h is a header file in C language. Int main is a main function. Open braces. Int I is equal to 0. For loop for I is equal to 1 is initialization expression. I less than or equal to 10. I plus plus is a incrementer. Printf hello world, and we are giving the int function, so we are giving return 0. Now the loop will run until the text expression is false. Next, while loop. While loop executes the code until the condition is false. While loop contains the condition first. If the condition is satisfied, the control executes the statements following the while loop, else it ignores these statements. The general form of the while loop is while, condition, statement 1, statement 2, and closing brace. Here we can see that firstly we can see that initialization expression. Then we can check the condition of while loop. If it is false, we exit the loop, and if it is true, we enter the loop. Do while statement. Do while loop constructed another method used in C programming. It ensures the program is executed at least once and checks whether the condition at the end of the do while is true or false. The do while loop has the following form: do, statement 1, statement 2, closing braces, while, condition. The block of statements within double braces following the word do are executed at least once. Then the condition is evaluated. If the condition is true, the block of statements are executed again until the value of condition tested is false. Jump statements. In the C programming language, a jump statement is used to alter the normal flow of execution of a program. It allows the program to transfer control to a different part of the code. There are 3 types of done statements in C: go to, break, and continue. Break statement, it is also known as jumping out of loop, is utilized to exit a loop or switch statement before its normal termination. It is commonly utilized in loops to exit early if any specific condition is met. The break statement is used to transfer the control to the end of the statement block in a loop. Continue statement, it is also known as skipping a part of the loop. The continue statement is utilized to skip the remaining code in a loop for the current iteration and move on to the next iteration. It is commonly used in loops to skip over certain elements. In the program, we can see the numbers are skipped in between using the continue statement. An array. Array is a group of later data items that share a common name. There are 3 types of array. They are one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, and multi-dimensional array. It reduces the size of the program. It is used for memory allocation, and it is index based. Index starts from 0. Advantages of array: easy of sorting, random access, ease of transferring, code optimization. Here we are going to see about declaration of C array and initialization of an array. Array declaration with initialization: data type, array name, size, value 1, value 2, value 3 and value n. In this we can see the types of array: one-dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. Character array and string. A string is a group of characters. String handling functions. C language supports a large number of string handling functions that can be used to carry out many of the string manipulations. These functions are packed in the string.h library. In the table, we can discuss about the method and description of string handling functions. strcat, it is used to concatenate two strings. strlen is used to show the length of a string. strrev, it used to show the reverse of a string. strcpy is used to copies one string into another. strcmp is used to compare two strings. In the below, we can discuss about the syntax and declaration of the string handling functions with examples. I hope you will.
I'm A. Dividashni from Information Technology. Today we are going to study about elements of user-defined function. Function, a block of code which only runs when it is called. You can pass data known as parameter into a function. Functions are used to perform a certain action and they are important for recursion code. Function is categorized into two types: library function, user-defined function. User-defined function is created by the user, reduce complexity of program. Library function, brief-defined function, declare inside the header files, body inside the DLL files. Definition of function. A function definition, also known as function implementation, we can include the following elements: function name, function type, list of parameters, local variable declaration, function statement, and return statement. All these elements are packed into two groups: function header, function body. Syntax of function. We have to indicate the function type, function name, list of parameter. Condition in the function is local variables, declaration executable, number of statements are executable, and it returns the statement. Advantages of function. By using the function, we can avoid the rewriting some logical code again and again in the program. We can call C function any number of times in all program and from any place in a program. We can track a large C program easily when it is divided into multiple functions. However, function calling is always an overhead in a C program. User-defined function. User-defined function are the function which are created by the C programmer so that the user can use it many times. It reduces the complexity of big program and optimize the code. There are three elements that are related to the function: function declaration, function call, function definition. Function declaration. A function must be declared globally in the C program, tells the compiler about the function name, function parameter, and returns the type. Function call. Function can be called from anywhere in the program. The parameter list must not differ in the function calling. And function declaration. We must pass the same number of function as it is declared in the function declaration. Function definition specifies the name of the function type and number of parameter it executes to receive, and it returns the type. Example of user-defined function. Now we know that which are the function calling, function definition, which is function declarations from this example. Library function. Library functions are the functions which are declared in the header file of the C program, such as standard io.h, standard input function, time.h, time manipulating function, ctype.h, character testing and conversion function, math.h, mathematical function, standard libh, untitleity function, string.h, string handling function. Function is categorized into four types: function with argument without return value, function with argument with return value, function without argument with return value, function without argument without return value. Recursion. The recursion process in C refers to the process in which the program repeats a certain section of code in a similar way. Thus, in the C programming language, when the program allows the user to call any function inside the very same function, it is refers to as a recursion call in that function. Nesting of function and recursion. Nesting of function permits one function calling to the another function. A nested function is a function defined inside the definition of another function. It can be defined whenever a variable declaration is permitted, which allows nested function with a nested function. Nested function can be declared permanently to begins defined by the using auto keyword.
I am Nalini from BSc IT. In this video, I am going to tell about structure of C programming. Structure in C is a user-defined data type that can be used to group of items possible different types in a single type. Structure syntax is given below. Struct is a keyword of structure name. Int is an integer data type. A is a variable. Char is a character data type and B is a variable. The structure statement is entered by declare the semicolon. Next I am discuss section structure. There are 6 types of section structure available in C programming. First is documentation section. Documentation section consists of a set of command lines giving the name of the program. It's just for understanding and reading of the program. Generally, documentation structure in programming is an optional one. Second one is link section. It consists of preprocessor directives with the link the compiler to the standard library function. Here we include header function. Header file is hash include stdio.h. Hash is a preprocessor and stdio is a standard input output, which means a function is printed and a scanf. Printf is a output and scanf is get input. We understand printf is something else, but compiler does not understand. Function is already defined in header files. The function you able to write your code compiler does not understand. Get function will use the header files. Get function you want to hold the output on the screen, we will be use the get function. Third one is definition function. The definition function in C is directive can be used to assign a constant value to the preprocessor macro, which means the definition function define all the symbolic constant. For example, using the value 3.14159 throughout the program. Then fourth one is global declaration section. Global declaration section contain the global declaration of user defined function and variables. There are 2 parts of global declaration. One is local declaration and another one is global declaration. Local declaration is if you can globally declare that the variables throughout the program int and main also. Global declaration, there are some variables that are used in more than one function. See the flowchart of global declaration, documentation section, preprocessor directives and global declaration. Fifth one is main section. It is necessary to have one main function in every C programming. Only one main function in program always control the compiler and outputs also controlled by main function. There are 2 parts of main section. One is declaration part and another one is executive part. Declaration part is if you want to declare some variables or declare functions like in sum, there are declared by the declaration part. And executive part means you want to execute some logical operation like printf, scanf will be right in executive part. For example of executive part is sum equal to a. The final one is subprogramming section. The subprogramming section contain all the user-defined function that are called in main function. Here using many types of user-defined and global programming involved in the subprogramming section. These are the example of structure and section of structure. Thank you for watching.
Pointers. Pointer is nothing but it is a variable. It stores the address of another variable. For example, pointer p is equal to ampersand a. Star p represents the pointer variable. Address represents the ampersand symbol, and a is equal to the variable. Feature of pointers. Pointer saves the memory space. The execution time with the pointer is faster because the data is manipulated with the address. That is the access to memory location. The memory is accessed efficiently with the pointers. That is dynamically the memory is allocated and deallocated. Pointers are used with the data structure. Next, coming to the declaration, initialization and accessing. General declaration is the int quantity is equal to 175. It is the general declaration. So quantity represents the variable, 175 is the value, and 5000 is the address. Declaration of pointer. Here the pointer can be declared by using int pointer p. Here p is the pointer variable that holds the address of another variable. Next, initialization of pointer. Address operator and is used to initialize the pointer variable. For example, int quantity is equal to 175, int pointer p is equal to ampersand quantity. Here int pointer p is the declaration and pointer ampersand quantity is the declaration. Here the quantity represents the variable and ampersand represents the address. It will be stored in the memory location like quantity 175 and address will be 5000. Variable for p value will be 5000 and address will be 548. It means the p will be storing the address value 5000 and address 548. Accessing a variable. To access the value of variable, direction operator star is used. For example, int quantity is equal to 175, pointer p, comma n. Here the int is the initialization, pointer p is the integer, and n is the integer data type. P is equal to ampersand quantity. N is equal to star p. Here p gives the address of another variable, whereas pointer p gives the value of another variable. So star can be treated as the value at the address. P is equal to ampersand quantity, n is equal to pointer p. It can also be written like n is equal to quantity and n is equal to 175. Pointer p is the quantity value, that means it stores the value. P is the ampersand quantity, that means it shows the address. Next, program. A hash include stdio.h main. Here we are declaring int x and y. Int p is the pointer declaration. X we are assigning 10 value and p is equal to ampersand x. That means x stores the address of p stores the address of x. Y is equal to pointer p. Here y stores the 10 value. Printf value of x is equal to %d, comma x. It means it prints the value of x. Print x stored at add %u ampersand x. Print value of x using ptr is equal to %d, comma pointer p. Printf address of x using pointer equal to %u, comma p. Printf value of x in y is equal to %d, comma y. Here pointer p equal to 25. Here we are assigning the pointer value as 25. Next, printf now x is equal to %d. We are printing the x value. Next, close main. The output will be x value is 10 and x is stored at the address 5000. Next, value of x using ptr is 10. Address of x using ptr is 5000. Value of x in y is equal to 10. So now after assigning x is equal to 25. Pointers and array. Here the array stores the group of elements, whereas the pointer stores the address of another variable. Continuous memory location are allocated for the memory element of the array by the compiler. The base address is the location of the first element of the array. The base element is base address is nothing but the index 0. Example, int a of 5 is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Int is the data type, a is the data name having 5 elements that are stored in the particular memory location. 10, 20, 30, 40 are the elements that are stored in a of 5. If p declared as an integer pointer, then the array a can be pointed by p is equal to a or p is equal to ampersand a of 0, that is 1000. P holds the address of another variable. So every value can be accessed by using p++. Then the length of the data type will be scale factor. Scale factor is nothing but a length of a data type. The relationship between the p and a is pointer. P is the pointer and a is the array. Every value of a can be accessed by using p++, because to move from one element to another element, the pointer has to be incremented. Next, p plus 1 is equal to ampersand a of 1 equal to 1000. P plus 2 is equal to ampersand a of 2 equal to 1002. P plus 3 is equal to ampersand a of 3 equal to 1004. P plus 4 is equal to ampersand a of 4 equal to 1006. The address of the second variable will be stored in a of 1. Likewise, whenever the pointer value is incremented, it moves to the next memory location in that array. The address of the element is calculated by using the index and scale factor of the data type. For example, address of a of 3 is equal to base address plus 3 into factor of int. Fact is nothing but the scale factor. So here the base address is 1000 and 3 into int factor scale factor is 2. So 3 plus 2 is equal to 6. 1000 plus 6 is the 1006. So the address